Continuing coverage tonight of a deadly weekend crash on US-131 near the Grand Rapids, Wyoming border. A 21-year-old woman was killed during a head-on crash with an apparent wrong-way driver.
And tonight, many questions remain unanswered, but the situation does highlight a scary trend seen across the country. Our Max Goldwasser has been looking into this for us today. He joins us now live with the details on this. And Max, there are some startling numbers involved.
Yeah, there really are. Right now I'm standing just off of US-131 in Wyoming. This is south of where that crash happened from early morning hours on Sunday. I've been in contact with Michigan State Police all day trying to learn more information. Details are very limited still at this point, but I can tell you a 22-year-old was driving south in the northbound lanes. They collided head-on with a 21-year-old driver. That 21-year-old driver died, and the 22-year-old right now is in critical condition in the hospital. And Josh, as you alluded to, yes, very sad story, but it highlights a bigger picture here. It shows a nationwide trend that shows we are headed in the wrong direction when it comes to wrong-way collisions. What you're looking at right now is the latest data from AAA. 500 people killed on average every single year in wrong-way crashes from 2015 to 2018. So more than 2,000 total in that 4-year span. And that is a 34% increase from the previous 4 years. So when you have a trend like that, you got to figure out why, obviously. And the National Transportation Safety Board says the main takeaway here is when most of these crashes are occurring. 70% of them are happening between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. Most of them happening on weekends as well. And both of those things are true in this case. Sunday's crash happened at 3:15 a.m. I'm also told that generally speaking, about 90% of these crashes do involve a driver being impaired behind the wheel. That's what MDOT says. That's what AAA says. MSP hasn't been able to confirm whether or not that has been a factor in this specific case, but that's something to look out for as we continue to get more information from them.
All right, and Max, with that amount of impaired drivers involved in these numbers, it's safe to assume they don't even know that this is happening. So I wonder, can anything be done to prevent this from happening?
Now, obviously, that's the big question. When you see a trend like that, you got to find ways to put an end to it and shift the narrative. And that's what MDOT has been doing over the last several years. But really, in recent years, that's been a focus of theirs, mainly when it comes to signage. I mean, you go to any on or off ramp in the region, you see arrows that are pointing in a specific direction to tell you as the driver if you're going the wrong way. On top of that, all those do not enter, those wrong way signs that you see on these off ramps and these on ramps, they've been lowered to no more than 4 feet tall. So that way it's easier for the driver to see. And a lot of them, really all of them, have red reflective strips on the outside. So that way, especially at night, you'll be alerted as the driver if you are going in the wrong way. And the signage is great. Obviously that helps, but it can't do everything for you, right? And so that's why MDOT has been teaming up with a Michigan-based company called Continental USA to really take it that extra step. There's a pilot program going on the east side of the state. It's on I-75 in Auburn Hills. They installed what's called a wrong way detection and alert system. Basically, the first signs will light up and tell the driver to turn around. That's not necessarily something new. We've seen that technology before, but here's where the new technology comes in. If that doesn't work, a second set of signs pick up the activity. They send a signal straight to law enforcement dispatch, and that way the right people can get to the scene as quickly as possible. And Jonathan Stone, the company's lead on this project, he knows the importance of this system firsthand.
When I had my wrong way driver near miss, I had no idea. You see the headlights ahead, and up until the last minute, you're not sure if they're in the other lane of traffic or if they're in front of you. And then when you realize it, you have no time to react. So now we're giving people the opportunity to react. We're giving them the time to react, to get out of the way and prevent, a fatal crash.
And obviously that time to react is a huge part of this. That technology was installed in December. It's still in its early stages, just a few months in, and it takes about an hour, I'm told, a year, I should say, to gather the proper data that they're looking for. But obviously the hope at the end of that, looking at December of this year, they will hope that it shows a shift in the trend, bringing it to other parts of the state after that, and they find that it is, in fact, successful. So that's what the professionals are doing. But the NTSB says that you can also play a role in helping keeping yourself safe. So make sure you're anticipating, of course, what is ahead of you, especially if you're driving late at night and on the weekends. And if it is possible at all, try to get all the way over into the far right lane, because most crashes occur right near the center median. And again, it's still unclear at this point if doing any of that would have helped the driver who died on Sunday. Again, details are still very limited at this point, but I am still in contact with MSP, and as soon as I get an update, I will let you guys know. In the meantime, though, live in Wyoming, Max Goldwasser, Fox 17 News.